Hello and welcome to this Holi special edition of Market Today on Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, the Festival of Colors is actually considered to be quite playful and is supposed to bring in a lot of love and joy. And in stock markets also, the festival in fact has brought some cheer as the Nifty and the Sensex started this week of Holi on an upbeat mood. Now, looking at the Indian market's performance since Holi of 2022 until today, we've actually seen that both the benchmarks have actually delivered positive returns. The Sensex has rallied about 2,360 points or over 4%, and on the other hand, Nifty 50 has also gained about 424 points or 2.5% uptick is what we've witnessed. But how does the sentiment look like right now, and is it the right time for you to put money in the stock markets, and where exactly will you make handsome returns? To share with us all of these insights and much more, I'm joined by someone very, very special on this show. Mr. Sanjiv Bhasin joins in. We all know him as a market veteran and the director of IIFL Securities. Welcome, Mr. Bhasin, and here's wishing you a very, very happy Holi to your team, to all your family members and the loved ones as well.
Well, same to you, Sakshi. It's again good to be back with you. Wish you a very happy Holi, your viewers, your family, the BTI team. And also let me add, sorry BTI, I've said India Today team.
Yes.
And also let me add that how 2 days can make a world of a difference. Last year at this time, we were battling with the Ukraine-Russia issue. And this year, to top it all, it's been Adani and the bond rates. So life goes a full circle, but still we are up. I am looking to a very, very optimistic Holi, and by the grace of God, this full moon may herald in the best times to come for the rest of the year.
Well, that's what we hope for. But, I want to understand from you first, apart from the markets, what does Holi mean to you and how do you really celebrate Holi? Do you like to celebrate with a lot of food, sweets, and, are you a foodie yourself?
Well, first, let me be candid. The NSE and the exchanges have got it all wrong on the timing. There is a celebration in North India today, kal hoegi, and all my people at office are actually off. So how do I trade? I have actually slept. I just slept today because I was tired. I've been traveling. Now I don't know about tomorrow, but I'll be in office alone maybe. And it tells us that how your apathy towards not realizing what important festivals are, you're making people actually work on the day you should be celebrating. So no celebration, it's back to markets, and hopefully we will drive the markets higher.
Absolutely, we hope that too. But so far this year also, as you also pointed out, of course, we've come a long way from the Russia-Ukraine war and a whole lot of COVID situation. We are, a lot better, a lot of things to be grateful for. But this year so far, 2023, markets have been pretty range bound. And but until the next Holi, how will the markets really perform? What is the sentiment that you're looking at?
So Sakshi, if you took the year to be, last year was for India was an outlier on the back of the retail flows, the corporate results, and the standout performance of the RBI as far as a very, very stable central bank and so on. Now you have to contend with three things. The corporate issue which got overblown, that has come back because you've seen a big investor come and put money where his mouth is. Two, we think the bond yield and the Fed tightening may be just close to a top. And if that happens, then I think if the dollar starts to weaken, you may see emerging markets do well. And thirdly, we think that our demographic premium will start to play out even better because from what I read now, February has turned out to be a very good month on the rural sides for FMCG and discretionary spending. So all put together, fingers crossed, I think the worst of the year may be behind. And with this Holi, we think the next 6 to 9 months could actually be very, very sweet for the Indian markets.
Okay, and then what is the strategy should one should follow really? How does one create alpha in this kind of a market then?
So Sakshi, we'll give you 5 stocks just as they are innumerable ideas. But like I said, if you have been doing your SIP as a mutual fund investor, please continue despite the volatility. Because in the long run, demographic premium, corporate results, the spending and the reopening has been huge. And we think that will continue. Short term, we are an expensive market in the emerging market basket. And that may continue to be a little bit of a dampener as some money books profiteers and goes back into some other markets which are weak like China or cheaper. But I think that 5 stocks I would suggest can be an outperformer from here on. If you want, we
Okay.
can start with the first and then we take it from there.
We will definitely come to the stocks as well, but you pointed out in your initial answers, and I want to understand because the topic has been very hot topic from the last 1 month or so, and that's the Adani group of stocks. The question I want to know is that we've seen the 5 days of a rally or a rebound, if you may say. Some of the stocks have bounced back 95 up to 95% from their 52-week lows as well. I want to ask you, will the Adani group of stocks regain their lost glory in the rest of the year 2023?
Well, to comment on that would be difficult because see, as a merchant banker or as a institutional side, we do have some exposure. So I cannot speak out of turn on that, Sakshi. But let
Okay.
me tell you, I think the volatility is your friend if you follow the trend. Maybe
Hmm.
the worst of the issues will have got resolved because you've
Okay.
seen liquidity come back. I think they've prepaid a lot of their debt. There has been an angel investor, a big large FI who's bought a big chunk. And thirdly, we will await the report which for which the committee has been set up. So to
Hmm.
comment on any of the issues on Hindenburg or the correlation of any of those events, I think it will be out of turn for me to speak. So let's wait for that
Fair
report.
enough.
I would think that the worst of the undercurrent or the sentiment dampeners may be done with, because we
Fair
think
enough.
from here on infrastructure and particularly some of the assets which they own should start to show very good color.
All right, so the worst may be behind, and that itself may be of some relief to all the investors who've been holding on amidst all this volatility as well. But let's now discuss what we've brought you for. Let's discuss Sanjiv Bhasin's your stock picks for Holi 2023. For the first stock, I want to ask you, the theme that has been starting to pick up pace, and that is the auto basket. After a long haul, we are seeing some of the issues getting resolved. So the auto and auto ancillary space, how are you looking at this space, particularly the ancillary basket, looking at the whole scenario being changed, and anything from this basket that you look as a top pick for Holi this time?
Yeah, so let me take you 4 months back when everyone said that Europe is the elephant in the room and
Yeah.
there will be no gas and they will all freeze. Well, gas prices hit 3 year lows, and do you know the FTSE, the DAC, and the CAC have hit all-time highs. So
Yeah.
Sakshi, smart money always buys fear and laughs its way to the bank.
Hmm.
Similar is the case with autos, and my top pick there is Motherson Sumi. It is one of
Okay.
the largest OEMs we have in India. It has a very big global presence, and its co-reliance on Volkswagen is now down to less than 40%. I think they are in the sweetest spot given their investments in other ancillaries and some of the inorganic growth. They are also getting into the Boeing aircraft interiors, and I think that this company, given its pedigree, management, and performance, is set to rule the roost for the next 6 9 months as autos in Europe come back very strongly. They have a very strong India presence, and I think that 125 is on the cards in this stock in the next 6 months.
Okay, Madhasan Subi, a target of 125. So that's the first pick that's come your way, Holi 2023. In case you're looking at the ancillary basket, this is the stock that you should watch out for. For the financial services space, is there something that you're betting big on? This space also has bounced back after a lot of underperformance during the COVID era. We've seen a whole host of rally in the private banks, in the PSU banks more largely, and the financial services are now slightly picking up pace as well. Your thoughts on this space, and anything interesting from this basket?
Yeah, so Sakshi, as a disclosure, IDFC first, or the stocks which I've spoken are some which are clients and we have been advocating buys. IDFC first, in my personal capacity, also I own it for the last 5 years, and I
Hmm.
will own for the next 20 years, maybe, hopefully, by the grace of God. I have a lot of faith in Mr. Vaidyanathan. He has converted this lending institution into a very powerful mid-cap bank. Their NIMs are the highest in the industry, and their slippages or have been the lowest in the last 16 quarters. The bank is very optimistic on growth. They have become a lean, mean fighting machine. And I think in the mid cap category, the only caveat being that return on capital may take time on return on equity because they have a large equity. And to service that, they had, because it was a lending institution in prior days, which has become now a bank, but it is gaining market share. And if you have the wherewithal, this will actually go to 150. But in this year, I see 85 to 90 rupees coming very easily on IDFC first, purely on the back of its performance and the re-rating of mid-cap banks.
Okay, okay. So IDFC Limited with a target price of 85, you said, right?
IDFC First Bank with a
IDFC First Bank. Okay, and the target that you're looking at here is, and that's for 1 year target.
Yes, 1 year 85. If you keep 3 years, 150.
Okay, 3 years 150. So that would be a big multi-bagger from the current levels. It's almost at 80 rupees right now. So that would be a multi-bagger from Sanjiv Bhasin in case you have a long-term view. IDFC First Bank, that's the one that you should bet on. Apart from this, from the renewable energy space, that's also picking up pace. Of course, after that whole discussion we've seen in the World Economic Forum of climate change and the world looking keenly, and our own targets also of net zero going forward from here, the way the industries will change and focus on climate change, renewable energy is going to be big. Of course, looking at the hindsight with the Europe issue that you also talked about and how the energy prices have and the energy crisis really snowballed into a big issue. From this space, do you find anything interesting that investors can look at for Holi?
Yeah, so Sakshi, this stock is SW Solar. Again, as a disclosure, it's with some of our elite clients. I own it in my personal capacity also as a disclosure. And I think that I'm not looking at the next 6 months. I'm looking at the next 2, 3, 5 years. Given that clean energy, hydrogen, and green energy are the keys, not for the next or 9 months or the next 3 years, it's for the next 30 years. Reliance Energy, by the way, bought this company a 40% stake at 375 in December. It was originally by Shapurji Palonji, and it's the largest player as far as making solar panels. Also, they are the largest players of MEP, that is maintenance, electrical, and plumbing. There was a lot of debt overhang because of exposure to places like Argentina, and now Reliance has cleaned the balance sheet. It has a very low equity of 18 crores and it has a market cap of 5,000 crores. The beauty is, Sakshi, that they have a 4 gigawatt order right now,
Okay.
which by April can turn out to be 32 gigawatts according to the company. 24
Right.
will be external, 8 will be internal. If you just saw the recent India Investment Summit in Uttar Pradesh, Reliance has committed almost 20 gigawatts to be coming up in UP, and the whole conduit will be solar panels. Today,
Okay.
India or SW Solar is the cheapest solar panel, even cheaper than Russia. And this is an inevitable company which can even double from here in this year and even
Okay.
more than that as their earnings catch up. So don't look at the quarterly numbers, but if you are looking for a doubler, it is SW Solar.
SW Solar, and the target price that you're looking at over the next 1 year for this one?
In this year itself, you'll see 700.
In this year itself, 700. So that's also considerable upside from the current levels. Renewable energy space, Sterling and Wilson Solar, that's the stock that you should watch out for in case this space is on your radar as well. Apart from this, what about the consumer electronics basket? We've seen the way after COVID, a lot of consumer sentiment really picked up pace. The sales went on a high as well. Of course, the Diwali sales were buoyant as well. And now we're looking at the Holi sales on Amazon, Flipkart also picking up pace. From this basket, do you have anything special to discuss?
Yeah, so it's another OEM giant called Bosch. Now, Bosch is in your everyday lives, you know that, as far as washing machines and other things. But Bosch is also the largest player as an OEM globally. It has
Yeah.
just set up it's a semiconductor unit in Dresden, which is worth almost $3 billion of investment. And Bosch is the most complete OEM you have globally. Now,
Okay.
they are not talking of India as a India, they are saying India is going to be our biggest outperformer. And we know that the demand for autos, the demand for electrical appliances is humongous. So even though Bosch is an slightly expensive stock, but Shakshi, the numbers which have come in the last 3 quarters are the best in the last 18 quarters. Read my
Okay.
lips. The last 18 quarters, the best numbers are the last 3 quarters.
All
This is
right.
a German giant. It's a must have in your portfolio, and it is going to new highs of 22,000 this year and maybe 25,000 by next year.
Wow, 25,000 next year and all-time highs, and 22,000 this year as well. Slightly on the expensive side, but definitely one of its kind, and a whole lot of positives, including the earnings like you talked about, and a big German giant who has had the experience over years and across the globe exposure as well. Of course, the OEM angle that you just spoke about. We've been seeing that a whole lot of your focus in your Holi picks are also on the auto and auto ancillary pack. The last one also, would you like to discuss from the auto space, anything from the four-wheeler basket?
Yes, so one index-based stock called Tata Motors, which has done nothing as far as auto sales goes, but which
Yes.
came out with EBITDA positive numbers for the first time in also 18 quarters. The management under N. Chandra has been par excellence for the Tata Group. They are talking of being debt free in the next 2 years. Let me also tell you that China reopening means JLR sales are rebounding very, very strongly. The local business, their passenger vehicle is seeing the best business ever in its
Okay.
history. And their
Okay.
commercial vehicles, even with a lag, is seeing a lot of uptake. Thirdly, you know that Nexon and the EV side, they sold 15,500 last month. And I think EVs are here to stay. If you thought of Tesla as a dream 5 years back, look where Tesla's market cap hit. So I think Tata Motor is a no-brainer, given the impending rise in auto sales, and they've got the most of the issues regarding logistics getting sorted out. China reopening, the best conduit to play that is Tata Motors. So I'm looking at 575 in this year, and I think it will be one of the outperforming auto stocks after being an underperformer maybe last year.
All right. So, an underperformer last year, but could be an outperformer this year. 575 as the target for this four-wheeler major. Tata Motor, of course, volatile stock, but then definitely there are hopes that this time around there could be a sharp rebound that one can really expect. So, five stocks right there from Sanjiv Bhasin's basket for Holi. In case you've been looking to create a portfolio, it's a mix of consumer electronics, OEMs, auto ancillaries, auto stocks, renewable energy, and of course, we do have financial names as well. So, you have SW Solar, Motherson Sumi, Bosch, Tata Motors and IDFC First Bank as well. All these various stocks that you can look at for considerable upside from the current Holi levels as well. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bhasin. Always a pleasure speaking to you. But just towards the end, I wanted to understand, is there a favorite song that you listen to or dance to on Holi as well? Would you like to sing something for us?
I don't have much of a voice, but there is the old Sholay song. होली के दिन दिल खुल जाते हैं, रंगों में रंग मिल जाते हैं. So I think that should put it up. Be positive, be happy, be light. We've got an early summer coming, but and you're dressed perfectly for that. But I
Yes.
think the best of the Indian market is just ahead of us. You mark my words, after April, we are going to see 21,000 coming in this calendar year on the Sensex, on the index, and maybe 70,000 on the index. So be prepared for a blockbuster Holi from here till next one.
Blockbuster Holi, and what a note to end this interview with. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhasin. You always bring in a lot of positivity amid all the viewers and investors, and that's the inspiration they are looking forward to. Amid all these volatile moves, there is a voice, a strong voice that you always bring up with, that there is a lot of light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what we should focus on. And that's what the Festival of Holi is also all about. Many thanks, and here's wishing you a very, very happy Holi once again. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.